very aware that I might have black on my teeth. Hi, I'm Christy, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be something. Today I thought I would do something a wee bit different from usual. Today I'm going to be doing something a wee bit different from usual, not makeup or beauty related at all, but I am going to be speaking about veganism, what I love about veganism, what I hate about veganism. If I knew how to edit better, I would have like a wee heart emoji here when I done this, and then a wee like, I don't know, like broken heart emoji when I done this, but I don't think I can edit that in. I'm still trying to get the hang of my editor software thing. I have been vegan for around about a year. It was the day after Easter 2018 I became vegan. I wanted to give myself one last blowout on chocolate eggs. Shoot me. So when I had became vegan, I actually had already been vegetarian for a couple of years before that, so it wasn't like a major transition from like meat eater straight into vegan. I had already like cut out meat and stuff like that long before I had decided to become vegan, so the transition I don't think was as hard. Me personally, when I was becoming vegan, I set myself a month trial period to see if it was going to be a sustainable enough lifestyle for me to do, and if I was going to be healthy enough, have enough foods to eat, that kind of thing. And I told myself that I would stick to it for the month, and then I would kind of reevaluate at the end of that month whether it was going to be sustainable for me to do or not, which obviously it was, because here I am a year later. Although I had been vegetarian for years, I had wanted to be vegan for a really long time, but I just didn't think that it would have been doable for me. I didn't think that there would have been enough foods that I would have been able to eat. I didn't think that there would have been enough foods that I would have liked. Even as a vegetarian, like was not like a huge like vegetable lover. I had a very unhealthy diet that mainly consisted of cheese and pasta, if I'm honest. I think I must have ate macaroni cheese like honestly at least 5 times a week, and then the other 2 dinners of the week would have probably been like pizza or something. I don't know. Not a very healthy person anyway. A lot of people tend to assume that if you're like a vegetarian or a vegan that it automatically means that you're super healthy, but when I was vegetarian, let me tell you, that was absolutely not the case for me at all in the slightest. When I eventually became vegan and gave myself that 1 month trial, that actually wasn't my first time trying to be vegan. Previously I had tried many times. Like I said, I had known that that was kind of the lifestyle that I wanted to live, but just didn't know if I would be able to do it. And I had had many failed attempts where, I don't know, just one thing or another, like I couldn't do it. Literally, I think the longest before that I had lasted was probably like 3 days or something. Like honestly, a pretty fucking poor attempt, if I'm being honest. But anyway, it's been a year now. I've managed to do it. I definitely like won't go back to I definitely won't go back to eating meat. I wouldn't go back to eating dairy or anything like that. Like a vegan lifestyle is ideal for me personally. I have said the word vegan so many times and we're probably like not even 5 minutes in yet. Anyway, that's giving you like a little bit of background to me, my diet, kinda ish. So I'm just going to move straight into the things that within this year I have loved and the things that I have hated about being vegan. And again, you will just have to imagine that the emojis are here, the loved and the hated, because I probably can't edit that in, and if I have edited that in then I'll feel quite daft for saying that. So the first thing that I love is of course that it is good for the animals, not to eat them and steal their milk and steal their eggs and treat them like shit. I mean, that was for me personally, my sole reason for becoming vegan. Like it wasn't really anything to do with any kind of health benefits or anything to do with the environment. Like it was just purely for the animals. So that is my number one and main reason, is that it causes less harm to the animals. And just in general, like my only goal is to just put more good into the world than you are putting bad into the world. So that was my number one, of course. Number two, being vegan has definitely expanded my awareness on our impact on the environment. I feel like when I started researching more and more what the dairy industry was like and the effect that that had on animals, that kind of has like a ripple effect, and it kind of like opened up my mind to how much damage that we're actually causing the environment. I am by no means of the word like the most woke and like sustainable, environmentally friendly person on the planet. I am absolutely not that at all. But I do feel like over the last year I have become a little bit more environmentally friendly, and I do put it down to being vegan that kind of has, it's opened my mind, man, to like, I don't know, like how much damage humans are causing the environment. And I kind of feel like it's become more of a big thing and everyone is a little bit more aware of their negative impact on the environment and how their actions are affecting wildlife, the oceans, global warming. So I feel like I have definitely learned a lot more about that, and I feel like that did stem from becoming vegan. It kind of opened up the horizons for, is that a saying? Opened up the horizons? We'll go with it. It made me think more about the environment. And I actually didn't know this until last night when I seen it on Lucy Watson's Instagram, that she says that by eating a vegan diet you will reduce your carbon footprint by up to 73%. I did not know that. So I guess you could say I'm saving the planet single-handedly. You're welcome, world. Number three, it has forced me to try new foods, learn that I actually do enjoy foods that I had, I don't know, just like kind of automatically assumed that I did not like for some reason or another, just purely because I've never tried. Like honestly, until about 6 months ago I had never even tried an avocado in my life. But are avocado people weird? Like, I like avocado, but I don't think I'm like an avocado person. You know, like you get like avocado people, you know what I mean, like people that like avocado people, you know what I'm talking about. I like avocados a normal amount. I'm not an avocado person. For instance, if I go to a restaurant, they usually have like 1 or 2 vegan options. So I mean, that's really pretty much my choice already made for me. That's what I'm getting if I don't want to eat a bowl of chips. But a lot of times it was never something that I would have actually chose had I still ate dairy. Like, I'm just going to be real here, like every time I went out it was going to be macaroni. Like no matter what, I would be eating the macaroni. If they did not do macaroni at that restaurant, that was not a restaurant that I wanted to be at, I'm sorry. So it has really made me widen my dietary experience and enjoy more foods that I never knew that I would enjoy. Alongside that, I feel like I have become a much better cook because there is a very limited amount of like frozen foods for vegans. It's a lot better now than what it previously was, I would say. Even like years ago when I become vegetarian, years ago when I became vegetarian, I found that it was really difficult to find things to eat a lot of times, like I say, hence macaroni. It was every single day, bro. So I feel like if I don't want to have like unhealthy processed foods all the time, then I kind of really had to learn how to be able to cook a little bit better, cook things from fresh, and I feel like I am a lot more experimental in what I put in my mouth and what I cook. Number 4, and this is the last one that I can actually think of right now, because like I said, I should really have wrote like a list down. I can't even remember what I've said and what I've not said. We're just going with it. I'm just going to keep rambling and hope for the best, okay? And this is a big one for me, and it is, I feel like I am a lot healthier from becoming vegan. Honestly, like my entire life I had had stomach issues, digestive problems. I had just learned to live with the fact that I had a sore stomach every single day in my life. Literally every single day of my life. From I was a small child up until I was an adult, I had the most horrendous stomach problems and could not get to the bottom of why. I just had a constant sore stomach. I was really like fatigued all the time as well. I had absolutely zero energy. I was a lot fatter than what I am now. This is definitely like, in my adult life, this is like the slimmest and healthiest that I've ever been, and I 100% put that down to following a vegan diet. I have so much more energy. I feel just more alive in general, and I shit you not, I have not had any kind of stomach problems in this past, apart from when I'm on my period, I have not had any stomach problems in this past year since I have been vegan. It has changed my life. Living every day and not having a sore stomach is amazing. Why did nobody tell me? So I'm not sure if I actually had some kind of like lactose intolerance or like dairy intolerance. I don't know, I've never actually been tested for anything like that. I feel like I probably should have been when I had all these stomach problems. I feel like a doctor should have maybe suggested like, maybe you have like an allergy. I don't know. Anyway, but it was obviously something that I was eating before that was causing it, that I'm not eating now, and I don't have it. I'm full of energy, don't have a sore stomach, feel amazing, and all good. Amazing. Okay, I am now going to move on to the things that I have not enjoyed so much about being a vegan. Number one thing is that I miss macaroni. It is such a petty reason on this list, and I know, like I said, I'm doing it for the animals and putting more good into the world than I am bad into the world, but you cannot deny that macaroni is so delicious. Camembert and crusty roll, oh my god. A chocolate Cadbury's Easter egg. Mint chocolate chip ice cream. Chocolate gatto. So sad. Honestly though, there is loads of like vegan cheese substitutes and stuff. I know that there is some people out there who swear blind that they are just as nice as normal cheese. They are not just as nice as normal cheese. If you actually do want a really good vegan mushroomy macaroni recipe, if you're watching this right now and looking for something, if you get Lucy Watson's cookbook Feed Me Vegan, she has a really good macaroni recipe in there. It is honestly one of the best that I've tasted, and I've made that a good few times for myself, but sis, it ain't the same. It's not the same as macaroni. That's it, that's my hate list done. That's all I needed to say. I miss macaroni, the end. No, I'm kidding. I need to complain a little bit more still. Sometimes, although being a vegan has as a whole made me be a lot more adventurous in what I eat, trying a lot of new foods, cooking fresh foods, etc, etc. Sometimes I find it so difficult to think of something to eat for like my lunch or my dinner. Like sometimes there is just it's so difficult because of course you're limiting off so much food that is out there to like a kind of smaller selection, and there is a much wider selection now than what there used to be, but sometimes I feel like I am absolutely sick at everything. Like there is nothing that I fancy eating. Sometimes I feel like my diet can be a little bit monotonous, because even though yes I could be cooking like fresh things every day, the thing is like I don't have the time to always sit down and make nice food. It would be easy to just like stick something in the oven and have it ready for me for my dinner, like have something that's ready in half an hour, minimal effort, and I feel like I can't do that as easily with being a vegan, which is probably a good thing because then I do need to be a little bit healthier, but sometimes I just don't have the time. And I also find that to buy everything in fresh, it's so much more expensive. I have been getting better at watching like vegan food shop hauls and stuff like that, and getting some ideas on what kind of food shopping I can do on a budget. It can be a little bit difficult for me as well because I have a son and he's 10 and he is not a vegan and he eats meat, so every night I'm cooking him dinner and then I need to cook myself a separate dinner. Of course, some nights there is some things that I'll make for myself that he will happily eat as well, but a lot of the times I'm making 2 separate dinners. So if I cook him a dinner and then I'm needing to like spend time and like cook myself a separate dinner from scratch again, I can just find it difficult, right? Sometimes like I feel like it's just hard to think a food to eat that's going to be like appetizing. Sometimes I just want macaroni. Number 4. Is it number 4? Number 3. It might be number 3. It's either number 3 or number 4. I think it's number 3. It is judgy non-vegans, right? I know that people go on about vegans don't shut the fuck up about being vegan. That isn't kind of the case. Sometimes it's the case. I'm making a full video about being vegan and being like, vegans don't always talk about being vegan while I'm like just chatting about being vegan. But very rarely when I'm like out or in company with people, like I will never just say to somebody, oh by the way, did you know that I'm vegan and you're eating meat and I'm judging you? Like I will not say that to somebody because it's like none of my business and nobody gives a shit or nobody should give a shit what I'm eating. So I don't feel the need to tell people, but when people do find out that I am vegan, it's as if that they're somehow trying to like catch you out for something, or I don't know, like, well, what do you eat then? Do you know that that can't be healthy and like, man, people need meat to live? And it's like, obviously not, because I'm alive, so people don't need meat to live or I would be dead. So that's fake news. And like, I just think it's such a strange thing that people will preach to me about my diet when I don't really understand what it's got to do with them. Like, I don't understand why they care. It's like, oh, so you won't contribute to animal abuse? Well, you are a bad person. Like, and here's why you should contribute to that animal abuse that you disagree with. Like, I would... What? And like, it happens more often than you would actually think. And I just think it's just weird. I don't know, like, it's weird. And number 4, which I think is number 4 and final one, anyway, whatever number it is, it's the last one anyway, I'm going to say that it's 4, is judgy vegans, because on the flip side, even though there is judgy non-vegans, there is definitely judgy vegans as well. I feel like I have been talking with my hands a lot during this video. I'm going to like sit on them. And the judgy vegans are the worst kind, because I feel like if you're watching this and you're a judgy vegan, you're the reason that everybody hates us, just to let you know. That is fact. You are the reason that we are collectively all hated. This is probably like my biggest point that I absolutely hate about veganism. And it's not only like judgy vegans, like people are judgy towards people who like still eat meat or still eat or drink dairy, etc, etc. And like, I get it, like it's your opinion. Like, my opinion is that eating meat and dairy is wrong. That's why I don't do it. That is my opinion. Your opinion can be that it is fine to do that. That is also fine. That is your opinion. But there definitely is some vegans out there who do not understand that, like, trying to like drill it into somebody's head that what they're doing is wrong, and like just pointing out like all the things that you think is wrong about their lifestyle, that is not going to change what somebody does or believes. It's so ridiculous, and It is so out of place for people to try and push their beliefs onto somebody else. I feel like people should know where their food comes from and the negative health effects that it can have on them, how the animals are actually treated, the effects that it has on the environment. I believe, my opinion is that people should open their mind and know a little bit more about what is going into their body and the harm that it is causing. That doesn't mean that I can force my opinion on other people, because at the end of the day, me screaming and shouting at someone, telling them how I am so right and they are so wrong, is not going to change their mind. If anything, they're just, excuse me? If anything, they're just going to tell me to fuck off and then, excuse me ma'am. Yeah, like it's not going to help anyone. Like, pushing your opinion aggressively onto people and telling them that they're wrong doesn't help anyone. It really, really doesn't. Excuse me ma'am! It's not even just that, because you get judgy vegans who are judgy towards other vegans for not being vegan enough. What? It's like, oh, like, you don't eat dairy, that's fine, but I seen you wearing a woolly jumper the other day, so you're a bad person and you're going to hell. And I do not understand that mindset. It is the mindset of people as well. Obviously, it has been a big thing all over the world about trying to reduce single-use plastic, and people are not using plastic straws anymore, which is amazing. It's amazing, right, that people are doing that. But you get the odd person who's still like, yeah, but if you actually want to make a change to the environment, then you will be vegan, because then, like, you'll be helping the planet even more. So what's the point in, like, not using plastic straws if you're still gonna, like, eat meat? What's the point in that then? And it's like, it's so annoying, because if people are trying to improve themselves, the environment, their diet, the situation for animals, anything like that, if people are trying to improve it in any way at all, that is a good thing. But sometimes some vegans don't see it as a good thing. Like, if you're not a 100% model vegan, don't even, like, look at a plate of macaroni without licking your lips, then you're like a really bad person. And it is such a horrible, horrible mindset to have, and it really puts people off trying at all, I think. There's people out there who don't go full vegan, like they still eat eggs because they can't give up their eggs, but they're happy to give up dairy. That's just not good enough for some people. Honestly, like, say if you like look online at some of like the forums, or even like on Twitter and Instagram, sometimes it can be such a negative space to be. Like, anything that you do is not good enough, and it is so frustrating. I think that's me all done with my points now. I hope that this wasn't too rambly and like all over the place. If I ever do like a kind of sit down chatty video like this again, I promise that I will kind of script it in some sort of way so that I actually have an idea on what I'm talking about, rather than just opening my mouth and letting what is to come out. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!